All right, good morning, everybody. Make sure that we do. That's a first. Good morning from North Carolina here today, where it looks like we've got an impending ice storm or snowstorm, so to speak. Uh, First things first, let's go ahead and take a look immediately at the radar map here by Barron. If we zoom in here, we can see some light rain falling anywhere from Savannah, Georgia, all the way up the coast. And we're finally starting to see some a mix and some sleet from Wilmington all the way up toward near New Bern, right along the coast and the beaches there of the Carolinas. So I'm going to remove the radar for a moment here, and let's just look at the warning products here. We've got a winter storm warning here in pink. This purple down here near Wilmington, that is an ice storm warning. And then surrounded by that, the blues that cover most of South Carolina and points west of Raleigh, including up into there almost to Richmond, Virginia. Those areas are under a winter weather advisory, which is essentially a lesser version of a winter weather product. Less impacts are going to be felt there. New England, I don't think you're going to see too much. This storm looks like it's probably going to not be what we thought it was a couple of days ago. We thought this was going to be a coastal storm, go right up the coast and dump snow right along the coast everywhere, but it looks like it's going to go out to sea for too long here. I just want to take a real quick look at the warnings, and then we'll break down what's happening with the models. This is a winter storm warning. I just clicked on the map here. This is near Goldsboro, North Carolina. Some of these winter storm warnings are for snow and ice. 2 to 4 inches of snow with a light glaze of ice. Timing is between 7 p.m. and 3 a.m. Most of these winter storm warnings go in effect now through the morning hours, about 7 to 10 a.m. It seems like. These winter storm warnings did get expanded farther west a tad, about a tier of counties. So Raleigh is now under the winter storm warning as well. The ice storm warnings, if you're under that purple area, the ice storm warning, it looks like 1 to 3 inches of snow there because most of the ice is going to hamper the accumulation of snow. Areas of South Carolina and North Carolina there. Those ice storm warnings go until noon Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. Light freezing rain expected to develop this afternoon. Will change over to snow and a mixture of snow and sleet this evening and taper off later tonight. Let's see here. All right, let's go ahead and look at a couple of models. I want to start off, believe it or not, with the HRRR. This may or may not be the best model for wintertime use or for snow use, so to speak, but it's probably worth taking a look at here just so we can get an idea of what may be happening in the atmosphere. So we're going to go ahead and start here. This is basically right about now. HRRR, as we move forward about 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, you can see we've got that purple or that pink down here. That's freezing rain, and this purple, this band of purple, stretching across South Carolina, maybe even touching that eastern tip of Georgia into northern Carolina here, or North Carolina rather. That purple band, that purple stripe, that is sleet, and then we can see some blue snow bands mixing in as well. We'll look at snow totals and all that here in a moment. But you can see much of central and western North and South Carolina stay predominantly under that snow bands, and then even southeast Virginia sees primarily snow. But if you look down here, the southeastern half of South Carolina and North Carolina is going to probably be the area to be if you're interested in seeing that ice, or the area not to be, I guess, almost. But you can see we have that transition line here from freezing rain to sleet to snow, almost stationary through this entire storm. And it looks like the HRRR is really keeping the snow over parts of Northern Carolina or North Carolina longer than it was last night. I actually haven't looked at models since last night. And you can see we've even got snow up here into parts of the Delmarva Peninsula. That's just the HRRR. Let's take a look at the NAM model as well here. That NAM would be a good one to look at. Just to get an idea, we're so close to this event that I think really any model is going to be sufficient. So if we start here with the NAM, let's make sure we're on the recent run. This is right about now, jumping ahead. about 3 hours at a time. You can see right there 21Z, which is around between 3 and 5 p.m. We finally see some of that sleet really dominating between South Carolina and North Carolina, even maybe that southeastern tip of the state of Virginia. But it looks like right along the beach, right along the coast, is where we're going to see that freezing rain. My plan is to take off here. I'm in Raleigh right now. I think I'm going to head toward the Wilmington area, and the plan is to maybe get on the beach and get a shot of the snow and ice on the beach. That'd be really unique. Freezing rain mostly down there in South Carolina, according to the NAM, and that would obviously lower the snow totals down there because instead of seeing snowfall the entire time, they'll see mostly freezing rain and sleet. So little snow accumulation down there. It looks like most of the snow accumulation is going to be up here in east central North Carolina, southeast Virginia. But then it looks like the system is out of here by tomorrow morning, so a fairly quick moving system. Thanks everybody for joining me. We are going to look at the National Weather Service forecast database snow totals here just for the heck of it. Yeah, and you can see right here, this is from the National Weather Service. This product is a little bit on the low side or the conservative side usually, but it shows anywhere from just a dusting down where a lot of that ice may be falling, all the way up to maybe just about shy of 4.5 inches maybe in some of these stronger bands here in east central North Carolina. Let's take a look at what the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh, shows here for snow totals. Just out of curiosity here. Now take this with a grain of salt. But the big story here, I think, is going to be the sleet, freezing rain mixing with the snow. We're not going to get, that crazy foot and a half of snow that some models were depicting earlier from the storm. However, ice is just as impactful, if not more impactful, than the snow. Yeah, the HRRR seems to be right, at least with the Kachera method, right on track with what the National Weather Service forecast database says. Right about 4 inches across much of eastern North Carolina, extending up there, maybe even into the Delmarva Peninsula, a couple of inches. There's a couple of different ways that we can look at forecast accumulated snowfall. There's a 10-to-1 method, a Kachera method, and basically they're just different ratios. The liquid, I guess to put it simply, the ratio as if liquid to snow ratio. It's not very good at explaining things like that, but there's different methods to derive snow totals from liquid equivalent precipitation. And you can see that the 10-to-1 method, which we could be close to a 10-to-1 ratio today, maybe 5 or 6 inches here with the heaviest snow in the same place. So I think it's safe to say that anywhere in eastern North Carolina could be seeing around 5 inches, maybe locally a little bit higher. Every time I do a live stream, I never have my computer plugged in. So my plan is to go and, like I said, chase this ice storm. Had a little bit of a mishap with a tainted Arby's sandwich, I believe. Got some food poisoning earlier, but I think we're all good now. Find a plugin that works here. All right, so I appreciate everybody who's been following along. We're not really seeing a whole lot in terms of precip right now. There is some freezing drizzle falling along the coastal areas of the Carolinas, but I really don't think that we're going to see this event start here, at least for a little while yet. Ryan Hall, he is going to be streaming later this afternoon, and we're going to be working with him as well. Let me switch over to the radar real quick here. This is kind of thrown together here because I wasn't really expecting to be chasing. As terrible as I felt when I woke up this morning, I didn't think I was going to be chasing at all. So, but I feel much better now. Okay, Radar Omega is not loading for me for some reason. We'll just take one quick, real quick look again at the watches, warnings, and advisories here. Let me queue it up here. I got to get it switched over on screen. But this is not going to be that major impactful storm that we were thinking it could have been a couple of days ago, even 3, 4 days ago. It did downtrend, but we have to be mindful of the situation because, especially in this part of the country, it does not take much in terms of ice to really cause problems. And I'm not going to show the model run because I think it's overdoing it a little bit. But the GFS model this morning was showing maybe a half an inch of accumulated freezing rain. That doesn't necessarily mean a half an inch of accumulated ice from the freezing rain. But if that is the case, and we do get a half an inch of freezing rain, we definitely could have a good third of an inch or so of ice buildup. And I think that's what's going to be the big story of the day. One more look at that. We've got that purple ice storm warning down here. It includes a couple of counties in eastern or northeastern South Carolina, all the way up through the northern or North Carolina coast. And then winter weather advisories are those bluish colors there in basically most of the state of South Carolina. And then those points that are west of the winter storm warning. The winter storm warnings are there in pink. So if you're under any sort of winter storm warning, definitely expect more snow than ice, but we definitely could be looking at really both. We could be looking at a snow event and an ice event, depending on where you're at. Real quick look here, we'll switch to Barren radar momentarily, and I will loop this here just so everybody gets an idea. There's some pockets of some light sleet moving into parts on your Fayetteville, Florence, Wilmington. Right along the beach there, I think a lot of that rain is going to transition over to sleet. But it's 11:37 a.m. Eastern. Eastern time? Is it? I actually don't know what time it is. Hang on. 12:37 Eastern time. Okay. I'm still on Central, so it's 12:37 Eastern time. I think that about 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern time is when we're really going to see this kind of come into play here, and I think we'll start seeing the impacts. But this storm is going to be out of here tomorrow mid-morning, but again, we could still be seeing impacts from it. So if you live in the area, definitely be prepared. Go out and get your groceries or whatever you're going to get now, because it's going to be a pain to get them later. But you definitely don't need to do anything crazy like go buy the store out of bread or whatever. This is going to be a short-lived event, and it's not the end of the world or anything. But this isn't something that we see down here a lot. It's not very often that we see ice storm warnings along the Atlantic coast. So again, I'm going to be taking off here shortly. I'm going to head down toward Wilmington. I think that's where my friend Reed is as well. So I think the general consensus for a lot of storm chasers is to line right up on the beach. I have to be a little bit careful though because I don't want to get into a spot where we get stuck down there because of the ice. But it could be a little bit of a treacherous drive back. I'm going to maintain the hotel here in Raleigh. I brought the family with here so they can have a little bit of a vacation. We were initially going to be going to that National Storm Chaser Summit, but we decided to come chase the storms as well. I think several other chasers have done that, and completely understandable because when you're a storm chaser and there's storms to chase, sometimes we have to chase the storms instead of go shake hands and kiss babies. So anyway, take care, everybody. We'll be going live here probably around 3 or 4 Eastern, or basically whenever we start seeing something. I'm going to try to get right down there on the beach and see if we can get some interesting shots. Andy the baby. And we're all going to meet my baby here. Hang on. She's over there looking at me. This is my baby. This is Lily. She's storm chasing today. We drove 17 hours and she did the car ride pretty well, surprisingly. Don't recommend it though. But she's not actually storm chasing. I'm sure I could get crucified in the comments, but they're going to be staying at the hotel. You're going to stay at the hotel with mom. So that's why I got the hotel in Raleigh instead of down in Wilmington. I wanted to allow somewhere for these guys to stay and not have to worry about power outages or anything. And it's only about a 2-hour drive down to Wilmington. So take care, everybody, and have a good afternoon and stay safe if you're in the affected area. And we will be live shortly, and as well as will Ryan Hall. I get a lot of people on the stream when we're live, in the chat and whatever, asking specific information. And it's really tough for me to give specific information uh, from the car driving for people, when I'm not in the area. So if you're looking for the specific information, you can definitely check out Ryan Hall Y'all on Facebook or YouTube rather. And he does the radar breakdowns, and he will be using our stream today. So it could be a busy day later on. Have a good afternoon, everybody.